9 p.m. A time where everybody either get ready to go to sleep for tomorrow or just hanging out late night. For me, well, I'm just hanging out on a Discord community server for fun. It was a normal conversation, just chatting about video games and random topics. Then, out of nowhere, one of the community members played a Roblox game called My Eye Deceive, and she mentioned how after she finishing her playthrough, she ended up vomiting from it. I was very concerned, so I asked her, how come a game could literally make you feel vomit? She responded with these 3 words. It was sick, disgusting, and disturbing. That's where it strikes me, and I'm a very curious type of person. And it was nighttime anyway, so maybe a little bit of horror game could be interesting. And I wanted to know more and understand what exactly is this game all about. Let's find out together. Before we start, please take note that I am not playing the Roblox version because unfortunately the original creator decided to take it down. This decision was made because the Roblox version have gained significantly more popularity than the original game itself, which was not the intended outcome. As a result, the creator chose to prioritize the success of the original game instead of Roblox 1. So I will be playing the original version. What is My Eye Disease? It's a twitched, dark, and engaged narrative that gradually unravels itself over the course of the experience. An experience where you uncover and interpret the story as you play. The power of designing a child fate with multiple endings. As the game description says, the main page should give some context about the story. My Eye Deceive is the third-person psychological horror experience set in a basement or a shelter, if you will, set over the course of roughly a week. You play as a girl who has been living there all her life. The outside world is infected with a deadly disease. Society is in chaos. Fortunately, your papa, protecting you by keeping you in this shelter, is very insist on you taking your disease preventive pills every day. Why do the pill make you tired? When were you able to leave? Can we deceive by our own perception? Should we blame ourselves in retrospect? I want you guys to keep in mind in this word that I highlighted it. Set in the basement or shelter, a girl who has been living there all her life. The outside world is infected with a deadly disease. Your papa is protecting you by keeping you in a shelter, insisting on you taking your disease prevention pills every day. This is all the context you'll need to understand before we dive into the game. So in my mind, it's like we're in some kind of apocalypse world where diseases are everywhere when you go outside, and her dad being super protective to his daughter, and his primary mission is to keep his daughter alive and healthy, to ensure her safety by making her taking disease prevention pill every day. At least that's what I thought. But to know more and understand the truth behind all these contexts, we have to play the game. So, without further ado, let's dive into My Eyes Deceive. I'll show you this warning screen one more time. If you're feeling unnerving or discomfort, please leave and click off this video immediately. Viewer discretion is advised. Day 1. When we jump into the game, the first thing you see is the objective that was given to us is literally taking the pills. As a player, our instinct triggers us to do the objective, to progressing through the story, But before we start doing the objective, right up the back, the basement we are looking at right now is an odd and unusual design. It's a straight line with each section featuring the bathroom, the kitchen, the bedroom, and its own exit to the basement. That's it. It kind of reminds me of liminal space a lot. If you don't know what liminal space is, let's just say it looked like the back room, but a small version of it. Anyway, we were told what to do. Take the pills, drink some water, prepare some food, watch ourselves, and wait for father. While waiting for father, you can do some small activities like watering the plant, riding this wooden horse, and a simple game on the tablet. By the time of waiting, the music, once you in the basement, it gives some mysterious and unnerving feeling to it. Like, I don't know how to describe this at all. It felt isolated. Imagine being completely alone in a tiny apartment with nothing to do. There's no computer to surf the internet, no book to read, no TV to watch the news, no phone to call anyone, and barely any noise or distraction. The outside world is full of deadly disease, and you have no idea if anyone out there is even alive to begin with. Maybe everyone else could be stuck in their own little apartment, just like this young girl. It sucks, to be honest. After a few minutes of passing the time with some activity, her father finally returned, and they both have a short conversation together through the hatch. Hello, darling. Are you here? Yes, Papa. Will you come down today? No, honey. You should really know better. You could get infected. Did you take your pills? Yes. They're making me feel sleepy again. Then you should probably go to bed. Can you tell me a story from the outside? Please? Okay, but I will keep it short. Today, I saw a very scary creature. Upon seeing it, I felt immense terror. However, I managed to escape. That's why you mustn't try to leave. I'd hate for them to find you. Thank you for protecting me. I'm very tired. I think I'll go to bed. Oh, before you go, I have something for you. A diary, so you don't get bored. Thank you. No worry, my dears. Okay, now, sleep well. See you, Papa. And day one ends with her writing in her diary. The way she writes is as if she had never been outside a single day in her life, but have no idea what the outside world even looked like through her eyes and her mind. You can see that the story of her dad told her about just now already making the young lady herself feel very scared and afraid from the outside. Due to the effects of disease preventive pills, is also making her feel asleep and tired, so she fell into a deep sleep. During the time she was sleeping, the young girl seemed to be having a dream of her own basement where everything looked like blue and dreamy, and a very mysterious wavy fog is in front of the stairs. Without knowing what to do next, we as the player just have to keep move forward to the wavy fog to find out what's going on. And then suddenly, the whole basement just blasts away, leaving only the stairs that lead up to the hatch. And so, we go up to the stairs and interact with the hatch, and then suddenly, the dream ends. Day 2. waking up, maybe thinking the next day will be different. Maybe we can finally go outside with father or do some cool activity, but I was wrong. We do the exact same thing like yesterday. Take the pills, drink some water, prepare some food, wash ourselves, and wait for father. At this point, in my mind, I was like, oh, maybe because the father was being overprotected to his daughter. I mean, nobody would want their child to get hurt or get harmed from the disease by the outside world. They got a future up ahead. She maybe lost her mom. I was just assuming, okay? Because we never heard anything from her mom in day one. Not even a mention. Or even the gameplay's description itself. But at least she got a dad. A dad where he risks himself going outside, fighting the deadly disease, or just to bring food and pills to his daughter. He does all this to protect her and keep her safe. He just wants the best for her, which is why he has to keep her in the basement, even if only for a while. So it's understandable why we had to follow the same routine as yesterday. Who wouldn't listen to someone who does everything for you? When her dad finally shows up, they continue their conversation as always. I'm back. How are your feelings? I feel very good. I slept amazingly, even though I have a weird dream. Are you okay? I'm fine, don't worry. Did you take your pill today? Yes, I really had to take them every day. Of course, it's for your own good. They prevent you from getting infected. It's important that you take them every day. Okay, I will. Did you find something today? Yes, I managed to gather some food and other supplies. Did you run into any monsters again? Unfortunately, yes. The world outside is a mess. Monsters are intimidating human voice. If you hear anyone besides me, do not make a sound. They mustn't find you. I'm scared, Papa. What if they made your voice? How do I know it really is you? Let's think of a password. What about Apple? What's that? A sparse resource. A delicious type of food. If I manage to find one, I'll give it to you. I'm excited. Aren't you tired yet? Now that you mention it, I should go to bed soon. Good idea, honey. Rest well. Good night, Papa. And day 2 end with her writing in her diary. Look at the red text that she wrote. The world is an outside mess. And the white text. What does he mean? We were given 2 drawing indication that the young girl herself has never once seen what the outside world looked like. She take the conversation she has had with her dad, like the world outside is a mess, and use the word to imagine how the outside world might look like in her drawing. One was a place full of spice, the second was a place full of messy fox. It really doesn't matter which one you choose because the outcome will be the same anyway. After selecting the drawing, her diary shows up. There's this one line that caught up to me. Something called apple. The fact that she doesn't even know what an apple looked like is difficult for me to put into words. Because after I read that line, I was feeling sad. I don't know why or even what is wrong with my emotion, to be honest. So after that diary, we go to sleep, only to wake up in another dream. This time around, it's not about the basement, but a place that looked distorted, a DC coated with vintage brown color. This dream is based on the photo you choose. One was a place full of spice, the second was a place full of messy fox. And this dream was how the young girl imagined the outside world is a mess could look like, because she had never seen it in reality. So you move forward to the way we fall to progress to the dream, and then suddenly you comes across a white object that looked like a fruit. When you pick it up, thinking it is the apple, but suddenly a giant monster appears out of nowhere and just standing there looking at you, and thus the dream ends. Day 3. I was sure this time that things might be changed on day 3, but nope. Same exact thing that was given to us from day 1 and 2. Pills, drink, wait. There's a slight problem. Why isn't the father bringing the food to his daughter this time around? At this point, I was like, oh, maybe he could have gotten infected by the deadly disease and needed time to get medical treatment, hide away from the monster, and try to survive to bring the food back to his daughter. At least that's what I thought. Fortunately, there's some old food left in the cupboard to help keeping the young girl not getting hungry. So we wait for him. Suddenly, the music cut off. With the objective reads, "Where's Papa?" He never shows up. No answer, no nothing. And so day 3 ends with her writing in her diary. We were shown 2 drawings by the young lady. Both drawings would describe her crying with the text, "Where's Papa?" This time, the way she wrote the diary made us feel like she was in fears. Fears of being alone in the basement. A basement that isolated her from the outside world. With nothing left to do, sleeping is the only way. Now we find ourselves in another dream, trapped in a cube which transitioned into a maze, eventually leading us into a narrow hallway with tons of stairs scattered across the place. This could mean that she'd been looking at the stair for a long time, waiting for her father to come back. Then we come across a long pitch that seemed to lead to nowhere, and the only way left is for us to jump. And so after that jump, the dream ends. Suddenly, instead of day 4 and 5, we immediately jump to day 6. Things are getting weirder and weirder each day. The fact that we're still doing the exact same routine from the start of day 1 all the way to day 6 is crazy. And what's even worse is that her father had gone missing for 4 days, leaving this young lady feeling alone and scared. She'd been eating old food for 4 days, and her father doesn't even come back to bring her new food. At this point, I was like, crap, maybe her father didn't survive the deadly disease and couldn't make it back to her. And so we continue waiting and waiting. Suddenly the music cut up again, but this time with the additional screen shade indicating that she is frightened and scared. Even the objective goes full all cap with the text saying, "Where's Papa?" And so day 6 ends with her writing in her diary, but this time around, we were given a choice that can leave the impact of the story itself. If Papa not coming home, do I need to take my pills? My first playthrough, I choose to take the pills because I wanted to know more about the reason of to why we had to take the pills every day. Because her dad always asked her to take the pills whenever both of them talk to each other. She isn't sick yet, she isn't even infected because she always in her basement all her life. She doesn't show any symptoms of the deadly disease either. And why is that pills also having the effects to make her feel tired and sleepy? We don't know, there's no answer to it. So after we choose yes, The diary entry continues as follows. And after that diary, we go to sleep. The dream this time around is the dream we used to have from day one, but instead of blue dreamy colors, it's now red lighted dreamy colors. And the hatch from this dream is open. When we go to the hatch, we're suddenly back to our room again. This time we change around the room. When we go to the hatch for the second time, same things happen, but the further we keep going, the more chains are scattered across the room. We kept going and going until the last one. The room was void, and the only thing in that void was the dresser and the pills that we've been taking. When we interact with it, the young girl spoke slowly, saying, "I trust Papa," and the dream ends. I didn't understand why there were chains around the room, or the meaning behind them. Perhaps they represented her feeling trapped in the room for too long? I'm really not sure about this. Day 7. It's the same exact task and routine we used to do, but this time we see a bag of grocery is on the table, which means her dad is finally back safely. We finally get to talk to Papa after 5 days without him returning, and we continue our same conversation as usual. Papa? Hey, sweetie. You're back! Yes, princess, I'm back. Wait, what's the password? Apple. It's actually you! Where did you go? I'm sorry. Something urgent came up. I had to leave for a couple days. It won't happen again. Promise? Promise. How have you been? Have you been taking your pills? I've been fine. I have to eat some leftover though. But that wasn't a problem at all. I also took the pills every day. Because I trust you, Papa. I'm glad to hear. Also, as an apology, I brought you something. What is it? That's an apple. So that's what it looked like. Try eating it soon. They're best when they're fresh. I'll try before going to sleep. Aren't you feeling tired? Yes, a bit. That's good. Head to bed then, honey. Sweet dreams. See you tomorrow. And so she's finally get to eat the apple for the first time in her life. And then day 7 ends with her writing in her diary. You can see how happy she was when she finally get to see her father again, and how good the apple tastes like as a fruit. And so once again we go to sleep, but this time there was no dream. We suddenly jump from day 7 to day 147. Something feels odd when we wake up. The visual of the game seems a bit blurry, and the speed movement suddenly felt more slower than before. This basically means that her eyes get a bit blurry, and the way she moved felt slower compared to the first 7 days. Maybe she wake up a bit early, so she's still getting tired from it, I don't know. And surprise, surprise, we take the pills, drink some water, prepare some food, wash ourselves, and wait for father. She's been doing this exact routine for 147 days. I was speechless. I don't know what to say next. So once her dad coming back, we walk up to the hatch. The screen cuts to black. The young girl asks a question that shocked me as a player myself. Why is my belly so round and big? And that was the moment I understand. The moment, the realization coming through my head that everything I was thinking was wrong the whole time. The world isn't spreading with deadly infection disease. He isn't overprotected. He didn't risk himself going outside fighting monsters. He doesn't do all this to protect her and keep her safe. He's using her to do one of the most disgusting thing possible. And the so-called disease-prevented pills that he insisting her taking it every single day isn't even a disease-preventive pills. It's more like a sleeping pills. All that story he cooked up like the outside world is a mess. Take the pills. They're preventing you from getting infection. A bunch of bullcrap lying to trick her into think that his story is real. And this one, monsters are imitating human voice. Make me realize that monsters aren't actually monsters, but rather people from the outside, or cops, or detectives. In this one, if you hear anyone besides me, do not make a sound. Basically means she have to stay quiet, or else the cop or the people from the outside will find out that she's trapped in the basement. It made me sick the more I think about it. To think that this young girl have never seen the outside world, never know what an apple look or taste like. It made me think that she was kidnapped from when she was born, because when kids are born, they have education, they go outside with their parents, they explore new things, they learn a way of life around the world. But this young girl doesn't fit into that category. We never heard anything about her mother throughout the game at all. And this so-called quote-unquote Papa isn't even her real father at all. But let's just say caught point. That's all you need to know. I'm not going to explain it any further. If you don't know what I'm saying, it's better to keep it that way. Imagine how many days, how many months, how many years he had been using her, violated, tortures, abused to the points where she's now carrying a child from him at such a young age. I don't know what to say next. But we still got one more ending before I jump into conclusion of this game. This time, we will not take the pills. The dream we have this time around is another maze, but illuminated with a red line. As we move along, we stumble on what appears to be a chain leading down from the sky. When we interacted, we removed the chain and the screen began to shake, asking us, "Are you sure about that?" We move forward and remove the second chain. This time it says, "We should trust Papa." Finally, we remove the third and the final chains, and the text shows for the last time, "Is it really worth it?" Remember that chains from the basement? Now I understand what it means. The chains represent the young girl trust to her Papa. But in this dream, it's all about her not trusting him. And so after this, the dream cut end. Day 7. Oh, once again, same exact routine we used to do. But we will not take the pills this time around. Her Papa finally back after 5 days. They continue the same conversation as usual, but this time around, the young girl lied to him about she did taking the pills for him. After the conversation done, we get to try the apple and then we pretend to fall asleep. Suddenly, your quote-unquote Papa opened the hatch, following by a noise of footsteps coming down from the stairs. Your quote-unquote Papa says, "Hello? Are you awake?" Alright, let's get to it then. And he make a noise that sounds like the bells were opening. Out of nowhere, somebody ring the doorbell. Crap, they shouldn't be here yet. Her quote-unquote papa had to go check on what's up, but he left the hatch open. So the young girl went to the hatch and climbed up. The creepiness of this hallway and its designs make it feels like it's a trap or a prison built just solely for her, to keep her from getting out and not letting anyone find out about it. So when we got out of the hallway, there's boxes gathered around, which means he could be using these boxes to hide the hatch, and a table with some kind of paper written on it. It's a receipt. Vitally RS Pharmacy. It's from a pharmacy. And this next part reveals what kind of pill that the young girl had been taking for the past 7 days. 5x sedative. And all that for $72. Unfortunately, due to she's still young and naive, the young girl doesn't know what a sedative is. Next to the table, it's another paper written something, and it seemed to be a police report. Spontaneous house inspection, which means cop been searching his house a lot. Taken to the police station, which means he got taken to the police station for investigating. Due to suspicious purchase, remember the receipt? 5x sedative. Conclusion: no substantial evidence found, which means police didn't find anything in the house at all. Case will be closed. After she read the whole thing, no questioning at all. It's like she doesn't even know what a police is or what this case will be closed even mean to her. And so the young girl keep moving forward, get up to the stairs, exit the basement, and for the first time in her life, she finally head outside. And then after that, she look up at the sun and says this. This young girl, like I said before, and I will say it again, never once left her apartment. She doesn't know what the sun is at all, and refer it to as the glowing ball instead. Maybe she doesn't even know what is the sky is as well. And that Deceive prevented pills she had been taking were sedated all along, which is why she always felt tired after taking them, make her knock out, and while she was asleep. It was the same thing I said before, from the part where he using her to do one of the most disgusting things possible, violated torture, abuse, etc. There's no good ending in this game. Both endings lead to a tragic and disturbing fate of this young girl. That is the terrifying sad story of my eye Deceive. It's a short indie horror game with excellent use of retro graphics and one of the most insane dark twitch that even I didn't expect it. And now I understand how she felt after that playthrough. Sick, disgusting, and disturbing. If I'm being honest, and I'm just speak from what my head thinks, it's a fact that this kind of situation could be happening in real life to a real child at any moment. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe even right now. You never know what's coming. Because we can't see the future at all, only the past and the present. And there's nothing we can do to prevent it. Unless we have proof and evidence and send it to the cop or the FBI. I don't know. And I really, really wish and hope that I was wrong about this fact. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay safe out there. It's very important to take care of yourself and those around you.